Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the NF show, Lucas 3, The Rise of Sir Smash-A-Lot. And that laugh is our special co-host for today's episode, NF Magazine Mastermind, Lucas Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be back for a third time.
Yes, we're happy to have you back. And if you're wondering who I am one of the regular, plain old boring co-hosts, Evan Campbell. My other co-host, Noah Ward, he is away for the month. He's actually in Japan right now, and hopefully got to go to the Tokyo Game Show. That was on his list. So whenever he gets back, he better have played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and got hands-on with the new Nintendo 3DS. But that's a mystery we'll have to wait and find out about in a couple of weeks. But for now, we're going to get to talk Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Hyrule Warriors with Lucas, and I can't wait to hear about it because if you're unaware, I would say Lucas is one of the biggest Smash Brothers fans I know.
Well, yes, I'm a little Smash crazy. I've told Evan and Noah in the past that anytime they want to talk about Smash Brothers, I'm very happy to do so. Smash Brothers, if I wasn't doing a magazine, I would be running some kind of Smash Brothers blog. Back whenever Brawl was coming out, the years leading up to that, I was the Smash Brothers guy on IGN. Don't know if you guys were following IGN back then, but if you were, I was doing the daily Smash Brothers update. Whenever Sakurai would post something, I would transpose it over to IGN and embellish on it and just go fanboy crazy. So yes, I like Smash quite a bit.
Yeah, which will be really exciting to get your thoughts. You're playing the final release version of Super Smash Bros., the North American version, that is. So we had Neil on last week, and he was talking about the Japanese version, but now we have the localized version. And you can't talk about everything because there are some embargoes here and there, but you will be able to talk about that, so that'll be really exciting, as well as Hyrule Warriors. But before we get to that, a little bit of house cleaning, and once again, there is a Super Smash Bros. Double-sided poster that could come with issue number 12 of NF Magazine if we can get 100 new subscribers by the end of this month, by the end of September. There's a couple of weeks left to go, and there are directions on the NF Magazine Kickstarter page as well as nfmagazine.com. And is there still a half-year subscription sale going on as well, Lucas?
Yes, it is a ridiculous, crazy idea. I don't know why I did this, but it's a wacky price. For just $10, you can get the next issue, the issue after that with the Smash Brothers poster if we hit those 100 new subscribers, and the following issue, 3 issues, a double-sided Smash poster, all delivered straight to your mailbox, $10. Come on, this is craziness. Come on, sign up.
That is really awesome. And if you're wondering what the poster could look like, if you're watching the video right now, you'll see behind Lucas's left shoulder the Mario Kart 8 poster that came with an issue of NF Magazine that was really awesome. So that's something that you can get in the future. So be sure to tell your friends, be sure to follow the directions over on nfmagazine.com as well as the NF Magazine Kickstarter page. But that's not the only NF Magazine news we have for you. Lucas, you have just posted a reveal for issue number 1 over on nfmagazine.com.
Yes, absolutely. It's live right now. I'm just checking the website to make sure. There it is. So if you go to nfmagazine.com right this very second, you can be one of the first people in the world to see issue number 11's cover art. And our cover star this time is Shantae, WayForward's half-genie hero girl. We worked with WayForward to get some great art to put this cover together, and I hope that everybody agrees that it upholds the NF Magazine cover tradition of being something especially snazzy to look at. I think it looks pretty cool. You'll notice, if you're taking a look at the cover art, that there are only women to be found. Risky Boots and Roddy Tops and Sky, 3 of the supporting characters in the Shantae series, are joining our hero there on the cover. And the reason why it's only women is because this is our leading ladies issue. It's all focused on female heroes. We are taking a look at all of the major leading ladies in Nintendo history. We are doing a top 30 list on who is the most important, most impactful leading lady. So speculate away about who you think is taking the top couple of spots for that. We've got a special article called The Women of Way Forward that looks at Way Forward's kind of history of promoting female protagonists in their games. It's becoming something that Nintendo's first party games are doing more and more often, but Way Forward has been doing this for over a decade. So we give them appropriate praise for that. And there's just tons and tons of other great stuff. We've got our final review of Hyrule Warriors that Don, he was on the show a couple of weeks ago, so he's the one that wrote this review. We got an interview with Mariel Cartwright. Jonathan Holmes has pulled in his contacts once again and gotten our first female developer featured interview, and just tons and tons of other stuff. So you're definitely going to want to check it out. Once again, $10 will get this issue delivered straight to you, along with the next two issues after that, along with the poster. Pretty sure we're going to hit that 100 subscribers needed to unlock that poster. Tons and tons of stuff going on with the magazine. Can you tell I'm a fan? I work on it every day, morning till night. I would need to be a fan to do so.
Yes, I'm really excited about fans and viewers getting their hands on the issue. And be sure, I think it's great that you brought up the magazine cover reveals and people's favorite covers. And we would love to hear what your favorite cover is. Now that we're getting into the double digits of issues, be sure to write in at show@nfmagazine.com or leave a comment right here on our YouTube page. Let us know what your favorite cover is, and let us know if it's possibly the new one with Shantae on the cover. I love the colors that are used. I think for me, the Shovel Knight issue is still my favorite, but the Shantae one is definitely up there at the top.
Shovel Knight, I'm not worthy of the art that Aaron Pellin from Yacht Club Games put together for our Shovel Knight issue. That was absolutely her work. I was very happy to simply compose it into our little cover art template, but she was the one that illustrated that, made it look spectacular, and really, really happy that we did a Shovel Knight cover early on. That was our January issue this year, because we were kind of early on the hype for that game, and then it came out in June, and everybody else around the internet seems to have caught up with, like, oh my goodness, Shovel Knight is an amazing game. I'm like, yes, we were telling you that. Yes, very, very, very happy about that Shovel Knight cover and the fact that Shovel Knight came out and kicked butt.
Yeah, and I think one of the best things about the upcoming issue is not only are there so many great reviews, but we have so many great previews to get you ready for the holiday season. So be sure to check that out. And once again, that $10 deal for 3 issues of NF Magazine is fantastic. So be sure to jump on that. Our next news is also pretty amazing, if I may say so myself. I don't know if you're aware out there, but Nintendo just turned 125 years old today. And that's actually, I guess in Japan, it'll be tomorrow, so we record on Monday. This makes it a little more confusing. So basically, September 23rd is when Nintendo will turn 125 years old.
Yeah, what a spectacular milestone. I mean, there are probably half the countries in the world aren't that old. Nintendo has been around for a long time. I love that there is so much rich history and such a long tradition of gaming that goes into this company that we all follow daily as Nintendo fans. Who would have thought that 125 years playing card manufacturer would still be around here in this modern age and still be bringing joy to people with gaming, through gaming. And yeah, what a great milestone. I think Nintendo will still be around 125 years from now. Yeah, spectacular company.
Definitely, and it'll be fun as we all grow older to see how Nintendo evolves over time. We know that Iwata has teased and we'll be seeing a quality of life type system coming out in the future, but you also have to know that the 3DS successor, not the new 3DS, but a successor to that and the Wii U, they have plenty more ideas up their sleeves. And I think the other exciting thing to be that we'll see is the next crop of Nintendo developers to kind of fill in the shoes for Miyamoto and Iwata and see who comes after them. And will there be another Sakurai type developer who just blows us all the way at a young age? And could the guys behind Splatoon be the next big stars of Nintendo? And I think there's so much talent there and so many exciting possibilities that you really don't know what's going to come next. And will there be another Wii Remote like revolution? Will there be another DS handheld system? Will there just be something totally different? Like you said, it was founded as a card company, and I think more so than almost any other company in the video game industry, you just really don't know what they might do next and what next hit they may come out with, and that's one of the reasons we're all Nintendo fans here.
Yep. Who knows what twists and turns Nintendo will take in the future, but NF Magazine will be there to cover it. So if this new quality of life health unit comes out and it sells billions and billions of dollars, and Nintendo gets out of video games and focuses entirely on fitness equipment, then by golly, NF Magazine will be right there offering you gym memberships along with subscriptions. We'll all get healthy together, and Miyamoto will show us the way.
That's awesome. Well, one of the twists that didn't happen in Nintendo's history was a game called Super Mario Spikers, which kind of got unveiled unofficially because I think this was on Unseen 64, which talks about canceled games or projects. I don't think we really know how far along this got, but Next Level Games, who is known for the Super Mario Strikers franchise, they also did Punch Out, and then I think the game that really blew people away was Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the Nintendo 3DS. This is a Canadian company. And apparently after they got done with Super Mario Strikers Charge for the Wii, which was a big hit for the Nintendo Wii, they were working on a project called Super Mario Spikers, which combined volleyball with wrestling, which is a really interesting design. And it started off more volleyball and I guess slowly turned into wrestling and kind of had the same kind of Mario universe with the 2D image that the Super Mario Strikers franchise had. And it was kind of cool to get some early footage of this get leaked. We rarely see anything like this come out of Nintendo, and it's not surprising that it's coming out of basically a second party. That's why we're going to see this canceled project. But I was curious, Lucas, what did you think when you saw this footage? Do you think we missed out on something without Super Mario Spikers ever making it to retail?
I forget exactly which Mario Party game it was, but there was a Mario Party that had mode as this fairly fleshed out mini game that you could go and you'd play the normal Mario Party, but then everybody would want to go just play the volleyball mini game. So yeah, I think that there really could have been something there for a Mario volleyball game with the success that they've had with soccer and baseball and tennis, and they even did Mario Hoops 3-on-3. Like Mario plus sports works in general, so I think that had this volleyball slash wrestling game gone all the way through development, it could have been a lot of fun to see the final product. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what interesting pitch concepts get part way through development, and they're in the conceptual stages, and this is just a brief window of insight we've gotten into one of them. Every once in a while you see things like this, like Halo was going to come to the DS at one point. Matt Casamassina, who I used to work with at IGN, he pulled the curtain back on that a few years after that was canceled. There's all kinds of developers cooking up these crazy ideas, and they pitch them to Nintendo, and sometimes those ideas go all the way through to completion and become the final games that we're talking about. Hyrule Warriors at some point was a pitch document. Somebody comes up with these ideas and brings it to Nintendo, and they have to go through these green lights all the way through to become a real product. So probably for every one finished game we see hit retail shelves, there's got to be at least 25 totally scrapped ideas in different directions that the same project didn't go in. Uh, very, very fascinating to see Super Mario Spikers. Would have been cool to see it as a retail game, but yeah, I like the insight into the conceptual process. It's something we rarely get to see.
Definitely. I'm of the mind that I really like the volleyball idea. I don't know how much I like the wrestling mixed in with it, and it's not because I'm not a wrestling game fan. I'm actually love the wrestling games back on the Nintendo 64. Over the weekend, I actually got to play a little bit of WrestleMania 2000 on the Nintendo 64, which was a
Mm.
lot of fun. And on that game, I love playing people because I'm just like, yeah, I can just like I took out my friend in less than 2 minutes. He's like, I've been playing a lot recently, and I was like, okay, and let's have a little wager on this because I'll play it. But I just think the idea. Next Level did such a great job with the soccer. Super Mario Strikers Charge was one of my favorite Wii games, and it was actually revolutionary at the time and probably throughout the Wii's life cycle because of its online features. You had weekly tournaments, you had daily leaderboards, all of this cool stuff that was on within the first year of its release. And the idea that there could be these Super Mario Spikers with the same online functionality would definitely get me excited. But it's cool to see what Next Level is thinking of and see kind of their relationship with Nintendo. And it me excited just to see that they're doing these kind of out there things. What could be their next project? Because they basically said right now that all of their resources are on a Nintendo project or working with Nintendo. So I'm really curious because we're coming up we're a year and a half past Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and I know that Next Level is not a huge company, but I would think that we're going to see their next project, I would think, at E3 at the latest, whether it's a Wii or a 3DS game.
Absolutely. Nintendo and Next Level are working together wonderfully. I loved Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I love what this developer is doing, and from what I hear from people who work at Next Level, Nintendo jumps through hoops, does whatever they can do to make it possible for Next Level to work with them. Like they just have such a great relationship. They want to keep working with them. So very excited to see what they could be handed any of Nintendo's franchises and knock it out of the park at this point. So it'd be really cool to see which one they've got their hands on.
Definitely. Well, you have your hands on Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS, and
I
I'm
do.
so excited. You've shown us our show. You showed me before the show started one of the most amazing animations I've ever seen, and that's a dancing Donkey Kong. I don't know
Let's not tease the people. Here we go. Exclusively on the NF show. You'll see it nowhere else. Dancing Donkey Kong. This segment of the YouTube video is going to get retweeted and rebroadcast for like a week after this. Look at
that
Dancing Donkey Kong. He doesn't even care. No cares in the world. He knows he's the best. When you're feeling bad, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling depressed, just think of Donkey Kong. Think of how he has no cares in the world. Oh yes, Donkey Kong.
that is fantastic. I really hope that becomes a meme, especially for Nintendo and everything.
Yes, Luigi had his deaths there, but Donkey Kong has this fabulous new dance whenever he wins a fight in Smash Brothers. So I think a lot of people will be wanting to play as Donkey Kong just so that they can earn the majesty of being able to view that dance just for themselves.
And I'll have to say for audio only listeners, this is another reason to check out the show. You should definitely see the Dancing Donkey Kong, his victory dance, and Super Smash Brothers for 3DS. It is amazing.
Yes. Go click on the video version. It's audio cannot completely capture the wonder that is Dancing Donkey Kong. Here, just video guys, you're just gonna need to look at it again. There you go. Dancing Donkey Kong. Spectacular.
So
So yes,
what do you think so far of Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS? I mean, you're this huge Smash Brothers fan. You talked about covering Brawl. That was back in 2007, 2008, which it's crazy. It's been 5 to 6 years now.
yep.
How has this one lived up to the hype? How does it feel being the first handheld Super Smash Brothers game?
The handheld and console distinction, I think, is going to be really interesting for people. And Evan, I know that you've already been on these pages talking about how you're wanting to wait for the Wii U version. Um, that that's Smash has traditionally been this console game, this party game. You get four people around a TV all together, and everybody's playing it together. And so it has been interesting to spend some time over the past couple of days with the 3DS version, which is naturally more single player focused. It's one person is holding the display in front of their face and playing through it, and it will become more of a multiplayer thing as more people get the game. You know, advanced review copy. I only have myself here. I don't have other people that I can play the game with, so naturally it's more of a single player experience right now. Um, but yeah, single dash is interesting. Running through classic mode to unlock characters. Um, yeah, yeah, practicing for you know what the way that I've been thinking of it is they released the demo for the 3DS version, right? It was a
Yeah.
big deal about, people wanted to get the demo code so that you could play this limited version, including just Mario and Link, Villager, Mega Man, and Pikachu. The internet went hog wild for this demo. There are people that have put 10, 20 hours into this demo version. Smash 3DS, the full version, feels to me like an even more expanded demo for what the Wii U version will be. It's like the Smash demo that was sent out was just like one bite. 3DS version is the full appetizer that they bring to your table, and you're still going to be waiting around for Wii U, that main course, that big feast, Wii U version coming out. So I have had fun playing this 3DS version. Um, I think it's just a taste. I really think that the Wii U version is going to be the one that really blows me away. I'm impressed with what I see here. I really like it. We can talk about some more specifics about it. Um, but yeah, it has cemented in my mind that Wii U version is absolutely going to be the one that people in Evan's situation can feel comfortable waiting on. Um, if you don't have the extra money to spend on 3DS, shove those dollars back in your wallet, hold on tight, watch some YouTube videos of Dancing Donkey Kong to get you through the extra couple of weeks or months until the Wii U version comes out. And then splurge on it. Buy that GameCube adapter, get the extra controllers, have your friends order some pizza, and have a blast playing Wii U version.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So I know talking to Don and Neil, I almost feel like if there was only Smash Brothers for 3DS, that they would be satisfied. They are happy with what the 3DS version has to offer. They seem excited about playing handheld Smash, and I know that they're both excited for the Wii U version. But I do feel like if it was just the 3DS, they'd be like, you know what, that's okay to me. But I'm getting the sense from you that it's more, this is good, but I want the real deal. Where's the Wii U version? Where's the Smash that we all know and love?
Yep. And this is a spectacular game in and of itself. This game, I will write the review for our magazine. It will be getting a great review score as its own self-contained thing. It's wonderful. Uh, but just knowing that there's another version coming in a couple of months that is going to be in HD and on the big screen and has a player, because not everybody has to have their own copy of it, all those sorts of things. It casts my playtime with this one in a different light. And I think that when we review these games in the magazine, we'll try to capture that in some way. We'll run the review for the 3DS version and the Wii U version side by side, and we'll have kind of a comparison between the two in the middle somewhere. Haven't completely brainstormed how we're going to do that, but I want to get across to people that yes, that you can have the 3DS version as its own thing in a vacuum, and you can have the Wii U version as its own thing by itself. But that's not the situation. Nintendo has decided that they're going to release these games concurrently with each other. They've promoted them side by side for the past couple of years, um, and that's not something that they've ever really done before. So it's a unique situation and deserves to be covered and talked about as a unique situation.
Do you feel at all playing this? And I know that you don't have the final retail version of the Wii U copy, and we don't even know everything about the Wii U version, and we don't know the release date yet. That makes me a little bit nervous, and we don't know what the equivalent to Smash Run is for the Wii U version.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, knowing there is that different content, we have other platform holders, specifically Sony, having these cross-buy games. Do you feel at all that this should be a cross-buy game? Do you think that's kind of a miss on Nintendo's part? Do you think we might see some kind of package deal once the Wii U release date's announced from Nintendo, where you can get both versions for a cheaper price?
I could see that happening. I could see them doing a combined retail box or some specialty item that you would get both of them together. I think they actually are doing a double 3DS version box where you can buy it from GameStop or whatever, and there's two copies, two physical copies of it in the same package, so that you can give one to a friend, which is something that they haven't done before. Um, I think though I'm wondering if what we're seeing from Super Smash Brothers here, even with the names that they've given the games, which are really bare bones vanilla, it's Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS and Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. I'm wondering if that we're seeing a little bit of what their future strategy is going to be for many more of their franchises, and especially with DLC. So you get a new version of the game. Let's say a new 3DS comes out a couple of years down the road. We'll call it the 4DS. Nintendo creates a version of Mario Kart that is Mario Kart for 4DS, Super Smash Brothers for 4DS. All these legacy franchises get a new updated version on this new hardware, and then after the base game comes out, DLC supports it for the next couple of years. We're starting to see that with Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 is out. Mario Kart 8 is the Wii U version of Mario Kart, and it's being supported by DLC. DLC package comes out 6 months later. Another DLC package 1 year later. Hyrule Warriors is coming out, and Hyrule Warriors isn't a franchise that's been around for a long time, but the same DLC structure is showing up for it. DLC package coming out 1 month after, 2 months after, 3 months after. So I think all together we are seeing the beginnings of a whole new marketing strategy for Nintendo and their franchises.
Oh yeah, it's funny. Let's not get too sidetracked on that, but it's funny that I've noticed that people used to kind of point to Nintendo as their DLC savior, not doing what other companies do with season passes and everything. And then just this past week, there's Hyrule Warriors season pass for $20. Pre-order
Yep.
now, and you get the Dark Link skin or whatever. And it's just like, well, there goes the last bastion. Uh, Against that DLC season pass, Nintendo is now fully on board, and I think we'll see it more in the future. We haven't got anything for Super Smash Brothers, but I think we will see something in the future DLC related if it's anything like Mario Kart. But to kind of get back on track with the 3DS version, something that we haven't talked about actually is just the screen size and the real estate you have there. We've talked about how well the game runs, and it looks great. Just in the demo version, it looks fantastic. How do you feel, though, when you're in these four-player battles and the screen's zooming out and stuff on the 3DS? Is that difficult there? Because everyone's used to playing that on such a bigger screen.
Are you trying to say that I got off track earlier? Like my thought process and no. I'm zoned in. I'm sure I'm completely on target with everything I'm saying. The screen size on 3DS. Okay, we'll stay on track here. It has in general, it's been good. There have been a couple of occasions where I've gotten confused visually with what's going on, and that's happened. I had a match where I was playing as Marth against another bunch of Marths,
Oh
and
man.
when you're playing on a 3DS size screen against a bunch of the same character, and everybody's like fighting in the middle, and there's like items going off, and like even the smoke ball item appears and like obscures part of the screen. Like you are not going to be able to keep complete and total track of where your character is at all times. But that's part of the chaos of Smash. Like you have the little indicator above your person that says player one, player two, and that's helpful. So that helps get through some of the visual noise. But yes, the smaller screen size is one of the reasons that I'm looking forward to, again, the Wii U version, my big HD TV.
Are you playing? Speaking of that, another thing we haven't talked about that was kind of discussed by Sakurai in the lead up to the 3DS version's release is the ability you can turn on kind of the black outlines on the characters on and off. Have you found yourself playing with those on, or have you been turning them off?
I've left them on as the default setting, and it helps in team battles. Whenever you're going through classic mode, every once in a while you'll get into a fight where it'll pair you up with a CPU ally, and you'll go up against two other CPU opponents, and you'll both be given colored outlines. So you'll be like the red team, so your guys will get red outlines, and blue outlines will go on the opposing team. And it just helps keep track of who is who and who exactly am I supposed to be trying to hit with my fireball at this moment. So yes, the outlines are helpful. I'm glad that they put those in 3DS version.
Yeah, that seems like a clever addition. And I know you're playing a pre-release copy, but have you had the opportunity to play online at all?
I tried it, but I got the whole error screen. This is not activated kind of thing, and that happens with advanced review copies for games a lot of times. Like you'll want to try all the online modes and everything, but I guess like a server somewhere just isn't turned on yet. So no, I have not yet tried out the online. I'm looking forward to testing it out whenever it becomes available.
And what would you say, I guess, is the most surprising thing you've noticed playing Smash Brothers on 3DS? Is it the controls? Do those work for you? Do they not work for you? Is it just seeing this being able to run on the 3DS? Is it the Smash Run mode?
The most surprising, probably getting used to controls that are not a GameCube controller. I think a lot of people that have been playing the demo are already experiencing this, and that the feel of playing this configuration of buttons is just wholly different than Smash Brothers has ever been before, and it tripped me up for the first few matches. But now I don't even notice it whatsoever. So if you've played the demo and you think the controls are weird, if you think that controls are a reason why you wouldn't want to get the 3DS version, like let that not be a concern, because your muscle memory will adjust. You will. I played it on the default button settings for a while,
Ugh, don't
and
tell
then
me that. Ugh.
and
Ugh.
then and then I went to the customization menu to reassign. Like I actually want Y to be attack, or I want X to be special, or you can do whichever you want. And I played around with some different ones, but I found myself just going back to the default for
Oh no.
I,
Oh
I
no.
got used to it personally, but the customization option is there for anybody that wants to reassign them. Um, yeah, I think the controls work well.
Well, that's cool. It's great that they have those controls. I'm one of those people that played the demo and was upset that I couldn't alter it because it's just I wanted to turn off up acting as the jump button. I think it had A and B as your attacks and Y and X as jump, and I really wanted to reconfigure that to like Y and B or whatever. So yes, I was not a fan of that.
Don't feel sad, Evan. Don't Donkey Kong can still win even on the default controls.
Man, that makes me wish that Donkey Kanemo version. That's so fantastic. Is he? Have you had a chance to see everyone's victory animations? Is Donkey Kong the best so far?
Donkey Kong is by far the winner of best victory animation that I have seen.
So there you have it. That is confirmed here on the NF show. Donkey Kong best victory celebration in Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. I can't wait to see that in HD in all its glory. Donkey Kong's fur kind of swaying back and forth with his moves.
That's right.
Well, do you have any lasting thoughts or final words that you want to say with this? I guess it's more of a preview. You can't give your final review of the title. That's something everyone can look forward to, and one of the next issues of NF Magazine. But what would you like to say before we move on to Hyrule Warriors?
Final thought that I'd like to get out there, because Don and Neil haven't been able to speak to this because they've been playing the Japanese version, is that whoever at Nintendo's Treehouse wrote the English text, or maybe it was a team of people, whoever just is responsible for it did a phenomenal job. The descriptions of the trophies, you play through and you get trophies like you get a random character from Clu Clu Land, or somebody, some obscure Animal Crossing person that you never even encountered when you were playing Animal Crossing, and you don't know who these people are, but the text descriptions that the English team has given them, they're cracking jokes. They're talking about how Peach is getting kidnapped all the time by Bowser, and it's like it's like somebody wrote in joke entries in all of these trophy descriptions as placeholders for what the normal boring text would later be swapped in. But then they just gave the thumbs up to the joke stuff and let it ride. It's hilarious. I think people will want to collect all the trophies just to see the ridiculous stuff that is written about each of these old Nintendo characters.
That warms my heart. And I think it was revealed, and you being the huge Smash Brothers fan, you might be able to correct me, that one of either the scenario writers or main writers for the Earthbound series was actually behind the trophy descriptions for this new Smash Brothers game.
Yes, and that may be it. It may be that they had such a talent writing the descriptions for the Japanese version that they really had to up their game in translating the humor for the English version. So my thumbs up to whoever was responsible. I hope I can find that person at E3 and give them a handshake.
Oh yeah, and that definitely doesn't take away from the localization. I think a lot of people mistakenly think that things are just kind of translated and that's fine, but there's so much work that goes into an actual translating the text and then making sure it fits for each specific region. And Nintendo and the Treehouse Squad is so fantastic at that. I don't know about you, but it's kind of always made me wish that Nintendo had, whether like a text adventure or just like an adventure episodic series a la like The Walking Dead, but obviously not maybe so serious and so sad and depressing, but had Nintendo's own unique flavor and flair that would be really great because their writing is just so strong.
Absolutely. Yes, I love that the members of the Treehouse are becoming more visible. They did the E3 stream Treehouse Live. You got to see a lot of the Treehouse people. And even just a couple of days ago, they did another stream where they were showing off some of the new holiday games. They showed off Hyrule Warriors. And these people obviously just have a ton of fun. Like, these are fun-loving people. They're cracking jokes on each other while appearing on this official live stream representing their company. They're just ragging on each other. They have a lot of fun. It comes through when you see them on video, and it comes through in their work. I love the work that they do.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad you brought up Hyrule Warriors. It's a game that we've talked about extensively on the show, whether it's Noah and I kind of being down on the title for its lack of online co-op, but then you have Don, who is just absolutely in love with it, and Neil following that up, just calling it dumb fun that you can't get enough of. So I'm kind of curious to see where you stand here on the spectrum for Hyrule Warriors, which is coming out this Friday for the Nintendo Wii U.
Absolutely. I'm going to make it 3 for 3 because Don loved the game, Neil loved the game, I love the game. I think that Hyrule Warriors is the surprise of the season for all the people that are just kind of twiddling their thumbs, waiting for Smash Brothers to come out for Wii U, thinking that that's going to be their next big Wii U purchase. Do not miss Hyrule Warriors. Don't skip it. This is a game that will give you hours and hours of enjoyment. I think maybe Neil was the one that mentioned adventure mode on the show last week and talking about how easy it is to say, oh, I'm just going to go and play like one battle, like 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes, and then you look at the clock and it's 4:30 in the morning. You gotta like take a shower and go to work and or something. Like the time gets away from you because there's so much dumb fun to be had. Like you are just presented with battlefields full of hundreds and hundreds of foes and ridiculous, creative, wonderfully absolutely destroy them. And it's just great. The visuals are awesome. It's fun to play as all the different characters and all their different weapons. Yeah, don't miss Hyrule Warriors. Don't skip it. It is a great game, great experience. Happy to give that one a thumbs up.
Oh, before we move on, could you just let us know who your favorite character is to play as in Hyrule Warriors?
I really am enjoying Impa. I like that she was, besides Link, Impa was the first one that they confirmed to be a newly playable character in this game, and she was wielding that gigantic sword in all the like pre-release press screenshots and stuff like that. That looked so cool to me. It looked like it was going to be absolutely satisfying to take that enormous sword and just mow down tons of enemies, and it absolutely is. I will confirm. Like when you are running across the battlefield with a sword that is larger than your character's own body and swinging it around like it only weighs 5 pounds, like it's nothing, and magical water effects are sprouting off everywhere. Like it is wonderfully entertaining. It is great, great fun. So get the game, choose Impa, have a blast.
Yeah, and definitely, and with the game coming out this Friday here in North America, I can't wait to hear what the listeners and viewers have to say. So once again, that's another time to bring up. But please write in your thoughts about that or anything else from the show. You can email us at show@nfmagazine.com, or you can leave a comment here on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com NF Magazine. Is there anything else you wanted to say about Hyrule Warriors and before we move on to our feedback section?
We touched on the DLC a little bit. I'm really looking forward to what the DLC will bring. The game, as it exists, as you will buy it off of the retail shelf, is entirely complete. I am not left wanting for any content. If that was all there was, it would still be a spectacular full experience. Don't feel like you're getting cheated or something because there's DLC coming later, especially since the first couple of DLC packs are free. There's day one DLC that gives you a new challenge mode and gives you the Legend of Zelda 1, the blocky 8-bit wooden sword.
That's really cool. I like that.
It is ridiculous to see Link swinging that around on the battlefield. Again, just more dumb fun. And then the next DLC pack that comes out is also going to be free, and it's going to make the three main villains from the game playable. And then, if you want to, you can pay money to get some more characters, more scenarios, and things beyond that. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping that Nintendo adopts this DLC practice for Smash Brothers because I love the character roster that they have for Smash, and the only thing that could top it would be if they do the Mario Kart 8 thing, if they do the Hyrule Warriors thing and say, okay, after the game's been out for a couple of months, we're going to give you this new character. Or, hey, Splatoon is coming out. Let's promote Splatoon by making the Squid Girl character playable in Smash Brothers. Like, I think things are going that direction, so I'm getting excited.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Noah and I actually talked about this a few weeks ago, but we definitely are of the mindset, and it like you said, it kind of looks like Nintendo's going in this direction. But where Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart for whatever new system should just come out as soon as possible at launch, possibly as maybe even kind of almost a bare bones. Maybe it's a slash price at first, but you just have this content that grows as the platform grows. So you have those games, and maybe they're only available digitally when the console releases until it gets up to its retail release a year later. But you still have those, and then just keep adding on to them because these are those evergreen titles, and it seems silly in this day and age for Nintendo to kind of just have it be the same game. Why aren't you like adding to them and just treating them like a service? And I know a lot of people kind of get scared at that, like, oh, you're just trying to bleed consumers dry. But I think you can find a way, a balancing act, kind of like other companies, whether it's like Riot Games with League of Legends, are, and I know that these are different genres, but there is a balancing act where you can make it be valuable and be consumer friendly, but also be able to kind of please everyone out there, the people that want to be there day one, the people that want to wait for that retail edition to get more content and everything like that.
Yep, it would absolutely help to destroy one of the long-running complaints that people have about Nintendo, and that there's these big gaps between the release of major games. You get something like a Mario Kart 8, and then you have to wait forever for the next big, tentpole game to come out. So if they adopt more and more of this DLC practice, they can fill the gaps. They can take a space of sets that previously would have just been a no man's land of no releases, and they can throw a couple of new Mario Kart courses in there. They can throw a couple of new Smash Brothers characters in there and keep those evergreen titles growing, and keep people coming back to their Wii U's, coming back to their 3DS systems, and not letting those systems collect dust in between months. Yeah, I think things are going that way. I'm excited.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the future, the key to that is Mario Kart and Smash and finding out how to turn these into living products, not just games that come out and then they're finished. And
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if we're gonna see. I think we're starting to see the fruits of that labor, like you said. But I think it may be the next system and how it's built and how it actually utilizes online functionality to see how that comes about. But
Mm-hmm.
with that, let's get into the feedback from last week. We have a ton of comments. We actually don't have any emails, which that's okay, but you feel free to write in emails. We love getting emails, but we have a ton of YouTube comments that I can't wait to go through. Lots of people, Lucas, playing Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy, Curtain Call, and lots of thumbs up. People are really excited about this game. It's kind of making me be like, ooh, I wanna get that. I like rhythm games, and I'm guessing that Noah got it, so I'll be excited to hear his thoughts. But our first comment comes from Benjamin A., who writes, my question this time relates to Nintendo and Square Enix, specifically the Final Fantasy series. First off, have you guys picked up Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call? If so, thoughts? Me, I got it day one and haven't put it down. 20,000 points and counting. I just said I haven't got it. What about you, Lucas?
Uh, I haven't picked it up myself, but this is one of those games where it it hasn't been entirely on my radar, but then it comes out and the reception for it is so positive and the reviews are so glowing that it kind of turns your head like, should should I have pre-ordered that? Like do I need to get on board? Like is this bandwagon leaving without me? So I am definitely interested in playing it after seeing the wonderful reception it's getting across the board. I haven't heard complaint one about this game. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, definitely. Benjamin A. continue on. Secondly, do you think the relationship between Square Enix and Nintendo is improving? Japan is getting not only Final Fantasy Explorers, but a 3D Classics version of the original Final Fantasy, utilizing character models from the 20th Anniversary Edition upgrade for PSP. We got the original Theater Rhythm, now the sequel, but all of these are on 3DS fantasy games in sight for Wii U. Not even the Nintendo-specific spin-off series Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. What do you think? Am I just crazy to expect this at all, or should I just stick to Final Fantasy and 3DS? So I'm going to jump in there. And first off, you're not crazy. I think that Nintendo and Square Enix have a strong relationship, but I will say that I don't hold your breath. Not just Square Enix on Wii U. I would just say don't hold your breath with almost any third-party games coming to the Wii U because it's maybe after Smash, but I just can't see anyone putting too many resources behind a big game for the Wii U at this point.
Yep. I think that Final Fantasy and the 3DS are the best match right now. I'll agree with Evan and say, yeah, probably not going to happen on the Wii U. But Final Fantasy Explorers looks to be positioned like it could be one of the games that really pushes the new Nintendo 3DS, especially with the timing of its release in Japan. Um, you know, Square Enix is positioning it as their kind of response to Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter 4 is going to be a big new 3DS game. You know, you can use the little C stick to be the camera control. I'm sure that Final Fantasy Explorers will be similar. So the timing of it coming to America, and probably why we haven't heard an announcement yet, it's probably the same reason why we haven't heard an announcement about the new 3DS hardware coming to America, and that it's not going to make it by the end of the year. So companies don't want to talk about things that you can't buy for your kids for Christmas right now. They just want all of their PR and all of their stuff to be talking about, you know, what you can go out and buy and wrap up and put under the tree for Santa to deliver to your kiddos. But after we get past that, I think, yes, we'll hear the confirmation that Explorers is coming to America, new 3DS is coming to America, and that's where Nintendo and Square Enix are going to be getting along for a little while.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Lucas, and I think the 3DS and Square Enix are where things are going to live, and not only because the Wii U struggled, which it has mightily, but the fact that in Japan, handhelds are king and
Mm-hmm.
reign supreme, and 3DS is doing really well. So I think Final Fantasy Explorers will continue to see support. We're going to get Bravely second. I'm
Yep.
sure that'll be revealed in the West. But I love the point you bring up of being held back for the new 3DS. I'll be curious how kind of North America treats the launch, as well as Europe here, treats the launch of the new 3DS, and could we see kind of like a launch lineup of games that will work on your old 3DS, but maybe the load times are better. I think it was revealed at TGS that the load times are much improved on the new Nintendo 3DS for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and maybe the same is true for Final Fantasy Explorers, and seeing kind of all these games launch with the new 3DS. So that's something really exciting to look forward to.
Yep. Yep. And playing Super Smash Brothers on 3DS, to go back to our earlier topic just briefly, it Super Smash Brothers on 3DS makes the case for the new 3DS, because it has to shut down all of the extraneous functions to be able to work. You can't post on Miiverse. You can't bring up the Internet Explorer while you're playing Smash on 3DS, because it puts it in like this locked in mode where only Smash is active, and if you end Smash, or you want to go and do something else, it does like this soft reset. I think Don or Neil might have already brought that up on a previous show, but it just goes to show you that the current 3DS hardware has been taken to its limit. Nintendo can go no further with pushing this, so they need the new CPU, the enhanced features from this new hardware. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Definitely. Our next comment is from Sonic Tonic. I gotta say, I'm so excited for Fantasy Life. I'm going to have to try hard to give some of my free time to Hyrule Warriors and Smash Brothers, because I already see myself getting completely sucked in with the Fantasy Life world daily. Question for you and Lucas. Do you think Watch Dogs is still worth getting on Wii U? It's not typically the type of game I play, to be honest, but I want to try it out since it looks kind of cool and I wanted to support the Wii U version. That said, money is unfortunately not unless considering canceling my pre-order. What are your thoughts?
I think Watch Dogs is still worth getting on Wii U. Whenever it was delayed to later in the year, I just kind of pushed pause on my hype for this particular game and said, somehow adjusted in my mind, like, okay, this is something that I'm excited for, but I'll just have to wait until later to get it. But I absolutely, personally, will still be picking up Watch Dogs for Wii U because I didn't play it on one of the other systems, and I'm still looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, I would say Sonic Tonic. Wait, possibly see what NF Magazine or other outlets have to say about the Wii U version, possibly how it runs and everything like that. But one thing I will say is, if you are excited about the game like Lucas is, definitely pick it up. But if you're just looking to support the Wii U version to get third-party support or something, I buy games that you want to play. I'm someone that's very anti the idea that you should buy this game because this will support third parties or whatever else. Like, buy the games that you like. Don't. This isn't like you don't need to pay money to buy games that to show your support or whatever. Buy games that you're actually going to have time to play. So if you're excited about the Wii U version, definitely do it. But if it's kind of this thing like I want to show that there is support for third party games out there, I'd say that before. But I may be the oddball out there. I don't know.
Yes, Ubisoft will not be getting a specific memo that says Sonic Tonic. He did it. He bought Watch Dogs on Wii U. Quick, quick! A green light Assassin's Creed for Wii U. Push those Wii U projects out the door. Like, yes, I agree with Evan. Buy the games that you want to play, not because you feel like you need to vote with your wallet.
Well, I know. I don't know if you remember, but Capcom, I feel like was famous for this during the Wii years. Of you need to buy Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles if you want a real Resident Evil game to come or whatever, and that stuff just that made me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, but I'll be curious. Definitely Sonic Tonic. If you end up purchasing it, what you have to say about the game and everything else. So it'll be really cool, and hopefully it makes really good use of the Wii U gamepad since it is a game about hacking. Our next comment comes from Weston M, who I think is writing in for the first time, which is really exciting, saying, how's the Smash poster thing going? Are we getting close to the big 100 new subscribers? From what I've seen, the poster looks spectacular and would look beautiful on my wall above my Wii U 3DS center.
Weston, you're going to need to tune in to Kickstarter tomorrow because I'm going to be posting a new Kickstarter update with a totally up-to-the-minute accurate count of how far along we are toward that big 100 threshold. We're getting very close. We got 1 week left in September. I'll tell you that the odds are looking good that that Smash poster is going to be hanging up on your wall.
That's awesome to hear. Our next comment comes from Old School 1990s, writing in, I have an update on Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call. I absolutely love it. It has improved on the original in almost every way. The song selection is amazing, 220 plus songs and DLC to come. My favorite track right now is Battle 2 for Mystic Quest. Don't hate, the game has a great soundtrack. Unlocking characters is streamlined so it's less confusing. The quest medleys are way better than the Chaos Shrine from the first game and adds a ton of replay value. Online is actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be, but it does kind of get boring after not too long. My only complaint is I think a harder difficulty than Ultimate might have been nice. As a veteran of the first game, I kind of find it pointless to play basic scores, so I recommend this game to pretty much any 3DS owner that enjoys good music. Now, time to get back to Curtain Call. So that hype continues to build for you, Lucas.
That's right. Again. People will be able to read Neil's review of Curtain Call in issue number 11. But yes, one thing that I will spoil from his review is that he says that it's such a good game that it transcends Final Fantasy. It's just a good rhythm game. It's just a great music game, even beyond having that Final Fantasy name slapped onto it. So yeah, I hope Theater Rhythm continues to grow. I talking about Nintendo and Square Enix working together. How about Theater Rhythm Legend of Zelda? Take the Theater Rhythm brand and let's see some other game series that have great iconic music tossed into it.
Definitely. That'd be a really smart move and really cool to see. Our next comment comes from Nintendo Dude GCN, who writes in, just wanted to quickly share my thoughts on the Super Smash Bros. 3DS demo. Overall, I feel it is a very solid game. I've had a lot of fun with it. The game feels very smooth, and while the controls were a bit awkward for me at first, I felt they were very solid once I got used to them. The graphics are also top notch. I agree that Mega Man is a bit hard to play as is, and that Villager is really awesome. Mario, Pikachu, and Link seem mostly the same, though I feel Link got a little boost in strength. No hand cramps yet for me, but we'll see how I fare once the full game comes out in a couple weeks. I've definitely suffered from hand cramps from Kid Icarus Uprising, and sadly that little stand that came with the game didn't really help.
I feel like people are going to be absolutely phenomenal players at specifically those 5 characters. The early competitive scene for Smash is going to be dominated by Mega Man, Mario, Pikachu, Link, and Villager, just because people have poured days and days into this demo and gotten absolutely phenomenal with each of their movesets.
Villager is awesome. We can just get that out of the way. Villager is so cool.
Villager is spectacular fun to play. Did you see the Smash Potato video?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. So what you do, and you can do this if you have the demo and somebody else has the demo. One person plays Villager, the other person also plays Villager. You use the down B move to plant a tree and then chop it, and as your tree has been chopped and is falling toward the other villager, they use their pocket move to put the tree in their pocket. And then they start planting and they go to chop their tree, and you try to pocket their tree, but then they might throw the tree from their pocket on you. Look up Smash Potato. Smash Potato do a Google search for that. It's just hilarious. It becomes this mind game of like, when are they going to throw that at me, and should I plant my own tree? And like, just the wacky things that people come up with to have fun in what was supposed to be a limited demo. It's phenomenal. Smash fans are incredible.
That is really cool. I can't wait to check that out. Remember, once again, if you're out there listening or watching, it's Smash Potato. That's something I'm going to have to look up right after we get finished recording this episode. Our next comment, though, comes from the Seventh Experiment, who writes in, I was finally able to get the Super Smash Bros. I'm impressed by how good it looks. I also thought I'd like Villager more, and I do, but I was surprised that when I tried out Mega Man, I actually really like his attacks, and he just fit better, not bitter, with me personally. I also felt a little bit of the downside of playing Smash on handheld. While I have a 3DS XL, I still felt it was a tiny bit hard when all the players were spread out across the stage. It's something I know a lot of people have been discussing, but after playing it myself, I understand it. But other than that, everything about this demo makes me want the full version even more. The music sounds great. Just a little tune that plays in the home screen of the 3DS when you view Super Smash Bros. Is enough to make me get excited. Can't wait. Also, just got my hands on Theater Rhythm Curtain Call today, and I love it. This is my first Nintendo game from this genre, so I didn't get to play the first Theater Rhythm, but I'm glad I decided to pick up the sequel. And as a response to you guys giving me feedback about Kid Icarus Uprising's controls, after playing it, I actually found that I had no problem with the controls at all. My hand didn't crap, and it actually felt pretty natural to me. I mean, the only thing I felt could have been improved was how to move the camera behind Pit to face the right direction.
Kid Icarus Uprising is my jam. I love that game. I never had any problem with the controls personally. Some people have trouble with it. I didn't have trouble with it. Love the game. And one of the characters from Kid Icarus Uprising has become my favorite character to play as in Smash. I don't think I can say more than that.
You're not at liberty to say it, or the Nintendo Ninjas will cut the feed to the show right now. So I'll have to leave it at that. Thank you, everyone who wrote in, for the fantastic feedback. It is always a pleasure to go through your responses each week, in and out. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this episode. Just one last time, you can email us at show@nfmagazine.com or leave a comment. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about the release version of Hyrule Warriors and what you've been doing with the Super Smash Bros. 3DS demo. Have you been playing any Smash Potato, or what do you think of it now that Lucas enlightened us with this awesome mode? And last but not least, what are your thoughts on Donkey Kong dancing? Is this like Footloose and there shouldn't be any dancing? And Super Smash Brothers, there we go again. Dance, Donkey Kong. Dance.
He might just have to send out the episode. I might just have to keep holding him up there.
We need to like have a 24-hour stream of just Donkey Kong dancing, I feel like.
That's right. Some video ninja can take and splice this into like a 3-day long dance-a-palooza.
This is great. This is fantastic. All right.
All right, that's enough from Donkey Kong. Thank you, Donkey Kong, for your contributions to this episode.
Yes, it was memorable indeed. And thank you all out there for watching us live, for listening to us through iTunes. You can subscribe to us not only on iTunes, but also YouTube. Please subscribe. And there's also an NF Show playlist where you can now watch all 36 episodes in a row. That's probably about 40 hours of the NF Show where you can hear my voice, you can hear Lucas, Neil, Don, Noah, hear us all talk about your favorite Nintendo games and news. And don't forget, you can review us on iTunes. Please, if you listen to us through iTunes, review us, give us feedback. We'd love to go through, read the reviews, see how we can make this show better for you. Finally, Noah is out for the month. He will be back possibly next week, but that's probably doubtful, but will be coming back soon. I will be here, though, and we'll have possibly another special guest, so don't worry. The NF Show will go on. And if you're looking to hear from us outside of the NF Show, you can on Twitter. I am at Evan Campbell. Lucas is at Lucas M. Thomas. And most importantly, the official NF Magazine Twitter account is at Nintendo Force, where you can get all the news, whether it's an awesome sale going on, current issues or past issues or upcoming issues, whether you can learn more information about cool deals like the double-sided Super Smash Bros. Poster or find out about cover reveals, be sure to follow at Nintendo Force. Lucas, thanks so much for coming on to join us once again here on the NF Show.
Thanks for having me for the third time. Already looking forward to the fourth.
Yes, this was Lucas 3, The Rise of Sir Smash-A-Lot. You'll have to wait to find out what the fourth installment of Lucas being on the NF Show is called. It's going to be fun to see how that kind of grows organically, and I always have fun with the show titles there. But yes, you can refer to him as Sir Smash-A-Lot. You can find him at Lucas M. Thomas on Twitter. That is your new nickname I bestow upon you for being here on the NF Show. But thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. Thank you, Lucas. And be sure to come back here next week, same time, same date, for the NF Show. This has been episode 36. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.